Welcome to MindFit Concepts 101. If you're new to fitness, or maybe you just have heard some terms in the gym or you see it in your coaching app that you just don't understand, don't worry. Today I'm going to break them down for you so you know exactly what they mean. We're going to talk about the key concepts so that it helps you build confidence in your workouts. You understand the lingo that you see or that maybe somebody in the gym references, and ultimately so that you can get more from every workout that you're doing. The first key concept we're going to talk about is RPE. RPE stands for rate of perceived exhaustion. It's basically just a scale of 1 to 10. And that just means how hard does it feel? How heavy does this weight feel? How intense does this workout feel? So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being very easy, 10 being a max effort. So a lot of times you'll see, for example, an RPE of 7. That means you want to perform that movement and use a weight, pick a weight that is about a 70% effort. So if I prescribe 10 reps, you're able to get through all 10 reps with that weight that you chose and probably feel like, hey, I could probably get 2 or 3 more reps if I need to. That would be about a 70% effort. Now, if you're not able to get through all 10 reps because it was just too heavy, then that means you are probably at an RPE of 10 or more. If it was way too light and you're like, oh man, I could have done a lot more than that, then you probably were below that RPE of 7. So this is kind of a feel metric. The other metric that we might use sometimes is a percent of your 1 rep max. And so the reason why I will use RPE more often is just because most people don't know what their 1 rep max is for every lift, especially when you start talking about dumbbell work or cable and bands. So we're going to use RPE. The other reason is that RPE is based on how you feel that day. So today I might go into the gym and I'm feeling great, feeling energized, and the weight that I choose today for an RPE 7 is right on point. Tomorrow I go into the gym and maybe I'm exhausted. I didn't get much sleep. I didn't eat like I should have, and I just had a rough day at the office. And so I'm feeling a little tired today. That same weight to me today might feel like an RPE of 9 or 10. So I'm going to choose the weight that is an RPE of 7 for today. So it can fluctuate based on how you're feeling that day. The other key concept we're going to talk about is what's called a superset. So when you see a superset, it means that we're going to combine 2 exercises back to back with little or no rest in between performing those 2 movements. For example, you might see that you do a back squat, and immediately after completing the back squat reps, you're then going to do the air squat or body weight squat reps. And then you'll rest after you've completed both of those exercises. To contrast that, sometimes you'll see a circuit. Now, a circuit is going to be a list of exercises, typically 5 exercises listed in a row or in a loop, and you're going to complete each exercise one after the other without any rest in between or minimal rest in between as you walk to the next station. And then you're going to complete those movements back to back through the entire loop or through the entire circuit, and then you will rest at the end of that circuit, at the end of that round, and then before you start your second round. We'll use circuit training a lot of times. It helps build strength and conditioning. It also will be used a lot of times in your muscular endurance phases to help us with that. Another term that you're going to commonly see is you're going to see tempo. So when we talk about tempo, really we're just talking about the speed in which you perform each rep. If you see tempo in the workout, a lot of times that means we want it to be a slow tempo. So we'll say slow 3 to 5 seconds in the descent or in the eccentric phase of the movement. So for instance, if you're doing a back squat, a tempo back squat, when you're going down into that squatting position, you're going to go down in a slow 3 to 5 second descent. When you get to the bottom, you're going to stand that squat up in your normal speed. But then on the way down again, you're going to go slow, you hit the bottom, and then you're going to come up in normal speed. So we're going to use slow tempo a lot of times. It helps us create that foundational strength that we need, stabilization, control of the movement, create those healthy joints. A lot of times when we use fast tempo, what we're after is more that power movement, intensity. So pay attention to tempo. When you see tempo in the workout, know that means we're trying to get a slow 3 to 5 second descent in the movement. The other thing we want to talk about today is zone training. So you're going to see this also, particularly when it relates to the cardiovascular movements, cardio training. And so what we're talking about are the heart rate zones. And there's 5 heart rate zones. Zone 2 is going to be conversational pace. So if I'm going for a run and I'm in a zone 2, it's probably going to be more of a jog, and I'm going to make sure that I can carry on a conversation. So an easy way to make sure you're staying in a zone 2 is, can you carry on a full conversation? Or are you getting to the point where if someone asks you a question, you're down to just one word responses? That's not zone 2. So zone 2, you should be able to stay in that conversational pace. A zone 3 or 4 means that we're going to be working in a moderate to hard effort. Okay, and then zone 5, which we won't do all the time, but we like to put those in once in a while because they're good for us to increase that aerobic threshold. And that would be a max effort or a sprint. Okay, so if you have a watch that tracks inside your fitness app, that tracks your zones, that would be great to be using during your workout. So you can just look down and see where you're at. And if you're supposed to be in a zone 2, but you notice you're creeping up into zone 4, just back your pace down a little bit, back that intensity down, and get it back down into that zone 2. A term that you're going to commonly see inside our Metcons, which Metcon, by the way, is our metabolic conditioning pieces. Uh, One term that you'll see is called an AMRAP. An AMRAP means as many reps as possible. So you will have a set period of time for that piece. For example, it may say 12 minutes. And then underneath that, you're going to see a list of exercises. You're going to complete each exercise in that list, one right after the other, and then you're just going to keep doing that without any rest in between. So you're just going to keep looping through that list of exercises for the entire 12 minutes. We're going to use these to really help you push your pace. And then at the end of that 12 minutes, you're going to record your rounds and reps that you completed. So if I was able to get through 2 rounds plus 2 reps in that 12 minutes, I would record my score as 2 rounds plus 2 reps. The other type of metabolic conditioning workout we'll do is sometimes you'll see it called an EMOM, so which stands for every minute on the minute. And so with this, you're going to start a new exercise every minute. So you're going to see a list of exercises. Typically, it's indicated with a 1, 2, 3, or 4 next to it, meaning minute 1, minute 2, minute 3, minute 4, and you'll cycle through those for the duration of the workout that's prescribed. So when these come across, what you're going to do at 3, 2, 1, go, you're going to start that first exercise. And let's say you're supposed to do 10 reps of that exercise. When you're finished with those 10 reps, you're done. So the faster you finish, the more rest you get, because you get to rest the rest of that minute. At the top of the next minute, you'll start the second exercise, the second movement. If you finish that movement and you still got 20 seconds rest, that means you got 20 seconds until the next movement starts at the top of the next minute. So we use EMOMs a lot of times to build consistency with our skill movements. Also, it increases that intensity. We're going to get into that zone 3 and 4 a lot of times inside an EMOM, but you get to get more rest. You get to work a little harder. I hope you enjoyed those key concepts. There's obviously a lot. If you do and you don't know what they are, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to explain them. But these are the key concepts that we'll use inside the MindFit Coach app. Now that you know them, you're going to feel more confident in your workouts. And just remember, progress happens one rep at a time. So stay consistent, keep showing up, get after it, and let's have some fun.